Hi all, Emily from CURRENTBODY here. There are a number of IPL devices on the market for home hair removal, and at CURRENTBODY we are really pleased to be partnering with one of the original IPL devices. It's made within the UK and a lot of the technology behind home hair removal has actually been developed by this company, and it is the SmoothSkin Gold, which is made by Siden and iPulse. So it says on the side, actually, it's quite an interesting fact, I think. It's the fastest and most powerful home IPL hair removal device on the market. So the kind of important point about that is there's this huge range of IPL devices available now. But if you want a treatment that lasts, and if you want effects that really last, you do need a certain amount of power behind them. So there's a lot to be said for, people quite are after cordless ones, so they can sit anywhere and do their treatment. However, with any kind of cordless device, you're not going to get the same amount of power as you do something that plugs in. So the SmoothSkin Gold plugs in. It's a very powerful device, but at the same time, it's very, very safe. So I'm going to open it up for you and try and give you a sort of brief rundown without being too scientific. So this is the device itself. It's actually really nice looking. It's a handheld device with number buttons on the front. As I said, it does need to plug in, but some of the features that it's got, which are really great, there's a little feather on the front there, so it's actually got a gentle mode. So when you first start using the device, it does take a little bit of time to get used to the sensation of how that kind of flash feels when it's going into the skin. And I do talk a bit more about the detail behind IPL if you want to click on this video here. But essentially you're sending a pulse into the hair follicle, which heats it, changes the molecular structure of it, and then the hair is effectively killed and falls out. But for some people, when they first start using it, it can be quite a strange sensation to get used to. So they've got a lovely feature on the SmoothSkin Gold where you press this little gentle feather. I quite like that. A little feather. And it won't go up to the highest level. It goes sort of halfway so that you've got a more gentle way to start. Obviously, once you get used to it, move up the levels. The higher level that you use, the more effective the long-term treatment is. So SmoothSkin recommend that you do a 12-week program in whichever area you're treating, and you can use this to treat the entire body. So it's sort of from in the middle of the face down. So you can use it on those pesky hairs, and then you can, of course, arms, underarms, bikini line, legs. So it really is. It's quite a versatile device because it can be used all over. And one of the other features I really must mention to you, when you actually fire the device by pressing the large button, you get little light areas that show up on the side which show which level you're going up to. Now, SmoothSkin is unique in that it's got a sensor on the front here. So that's the skin sensor. There's two little sections on either side there, and that in the middle is where you're going to get the pulse. So the skin sensor is unique in that it senses your skin tone, and it will only fire a pulse to the level of power that your skin tone can cope with. So if you've done any research into IPL, you'll understand that there are certain skin tones that it doesn't work on. And in fact, let me just show you this illustration on the box because it's really useful. This is, if you can see it, the Fitzpatrick scale of skin tone. So you've got from your lightest skin tone right up to your darkest, and it will not work on the darkest. But it is quite unusual in that it does work on the other 5 levels of the Fitzpatrick scale. It also doesn't work on grey, white or red, but you will find that pretty much across the board with IPL. So what the device does is very clever, and it senses your skin tone, and it sends out a flash that is the greatest level of power for that area. So the higher the level you're getting, the better reaction you're going to get. However, if you send out a pulse of too high a level into the wrong skin tone, you can get an adverse reaction, and you might get a red mark or even a burn. So it's incredibly safe for that reason, because it will not send out a flash of a higher level than you need. However, it won't send out one that's too low either. So you're getting that perfect balance in the middle of making sure that you're getting exactly the right pulse for your skin tone and for the best effects. So as I said, it's 12 weeks of treatment once a week, and after that point, you will need to do maintenance cycles, and actually it's got a great feature for that. So when you're using the device, when you're first treating it, you place it on the area where you want to flash the hair, press the button, and then you lift and replace again. The SmoothSkin Gold is unique in that it only takes 1 second in between flashes for it to rejig itself and get ready to go again. If you look back a few years ago, some more traditional devices, you're looking at 5 or 6 seconds in between each one. So of course, in order to treat your whole body, you're talking hours. Whereas this only has a second in between. And I will put a link through here to the sciencey bit behind why that is, but it's a bit too detailed for general reading. So you press it, and then it only takes 1 second for it to rejig and for you to move on, which means you can pretty much treat your entire body in about 20 minutes, which is amazingly fast compared with a lot of other devices on the market. But it also has a glide feature. So once you've treated, say, your leg, you've done your 12-week program, you're really happy with the results, but you do have the occasional hair that's grown back or that kind of got missed in the original treatment, you can use a glide mode where you place it on the leg and move it upwards, holding the top button down, and you move it up across and glide it across the leg, and that should find those rogue hairs and just sort of get rid of those, so you're really topping yourself up in your last bit of treatment. So those, I think, are the main details, but obviously if you have any questions, please do paste them below for me. And if you would like to know any further details, if you'd like me to do a comparison of one IPL device to another, because we all know there are a lot out there, or if you'd like me to say, okay, recommend for you, you want to treat X area over X amount of weeks, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to give you my best recommendations.